What's up, YouTube? I'm back. My second video of my slab collection, my gray collection. And I didn't realize I didn't say this is, of course, my Dawn Goddess, because I am definitely a Linzer fan and a Dawn fan. I love the artwork. And, you know, she's just, she's hot. So, got that. And I figured with this video, I'd add another one of my newer ones, my Adam Hughes Starfire, which I think is pretty cool. And just this here, when the eyes just seem to glow, you know, and they're just freaky. So, yeah, very cool. You know, I'm also an Adam Hughes fan, so I've been trying to get his statues, which are a little bit pricey sometimes. So that one wasn't too bad though. But yeah, so we're on to my next box. I think I have 4 or 5 boxes of graded comics. So I'll be doing a video for each box, I guess, because they just take too long because I talk a lot. So we'll see how fast we can make it through this one. And this stuff is from the New York, well, there's a couple things from New York Comic Con right in the front. So I'm just going to grab them as they come out of the box. This is my Walking Dead Night 19, and it's a 9.8, and it was signed by Robert Kirkman last year at the New York Comic Con. Which, I don't know if he's going to be here this year. I'll have to find out. Maybe I'll have him sign some more stuff. But, yeah, I didn't actually meet him, because there was, in order to meet him yourself and get it signed, they only had so many tickets. And even as soon as they opened the door, I ran to where they were giving the tickets out, and by the time I got there, they were already gone. So I don't know how that's possible, but they were gone. Since I was one of the first people in the door. But yeah, so I paid, CGC had a private signing. I paid them $10 to do it. They charge $10 to do it, so, which I'm fine with. Actually, it makes my life easier. I don't have to stand in line, and I actually did that again this year. I paid them $5 CBCS to get my Scott Snyder signatures. So if they're offering that, I'll pay that extra $10 not to have to stand in line all morning or all day. So yeah, but I'm very happy with that. You know what? I was not surprised this came back at 9.8. I would have been surprised if it didn't. When I got this book, I bought it raw. Obviously, it was probably one of the nicer books I've ever seen. You know, I was kind of hoping you could even get a 9.9. I don't own a 9.9 yet, and I thought this might have been a contender. But yeah, so I'm very happy with that. That's an easy. I paid like $1 something for this book here, or maybe not even that much. I can't remember. I didn't pay a lot of money, not compared to what this value of this book is now. But this book here probably easy $500-600 easy. So, and I got this one done at the New York Comic Con last year. Most of the books I got done at the New York Comic Con was by CBCS because they were cheaper. So it's the first time I actually used them. It was last year at the New York Comic Con, which I was happy with them, except for the length of time it took to get back. But they are just, my CGC books came back faster. So last year, but I guess they had some kind of plastics problem or something. They told me, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, this is my New Mutants 87 9.6, and this was signed by oh my God, Louis Simonson and Rob Liefeld. Now I did want McFarlane to sign it. McFarlane, I say McFarlane for some reason. I don't know if it's McFarlane, but whatever. Yeah, so I had them sign it, and I wanted McFarlane to sign it, but I didn't get, again, the ticket thing. I couldn't get them. I should have asked if they had a private signing or not, but I don't think CBCS did. So I got that one, them two done. So pretty cool. And this is just another random book thrown in there. Got this one graded myself. I actually bought this book raw, and I did not pay a whole lot of money for this book either. A few $100s. And a 7.5, I think I definitely did well in this book. So I was hoping for an 8 actually. And I actually think that I can get an 8 if I press it. The problem with this book is the spine. It's wrinkly and stuff, because these square bound books are tough. I don't know if you can see it, but I can guarantee I could at least get a 0.5 upgrade on that. Maybe even up to an 8.5, because it's pretty nice, except for that. So this might be one of those contenders to get a pressing on slab and get it pressing. Trying to see who worked on this book line wine, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him this. Oh, like I said, random books. Here you go. One of the first major books I bought. This was my Amazing Spider-Man #1. I did have it graded myself, and it came back at 0.5. So I was really, when I bought it, I thought it would be at least a 1, which I knew it, bought it thinking it was going to be a 1. I just wasn't expecting a 0.5. So even though this book is horrible, but I paid $700 for this book, and even at a 0.5, I know it's over $1,000 probably now. But yeah, you guys gotta take a look at this book in all its glory. You know, look at that. The gloss is just about gone on this book. And it definitely looks better in the slab than it did in person. The book was really brittle. If you look there, it got a hole, like a punch hole. There's only one punch hole though, I don't know. Well, maybe there's 2. Okay, yeah, there's 2 punch holes. So, and it actually had this as incomplete, I guess because of the punch holes for some reason. But yeah, the back is just, yeah, okay, yeah, there is 2. There's one right there. But yeah, so even with 0.5, I'm very happy to have it. I would never upgrade this book. Unless I mean, just not, I'm fine with a 0.5, even just to own it. It's pretty cool. And of course, I would love to get a Amazing Fantasy 15, but even stuff like a 1, even nowadays, is selling for thousands and thousands of dollars, like over $5,000. It's like crazy. I would never pay that much money for something in this condition, that kind of money, but I guess some people will. Okay. Oh, I just got a bunch of major keys come one after the other. So, this one I actually bought raw, and I paid $400 for this book, I believe, $450. I got a grade 3.0. However, this book again, which I read this book. I actually, when I got it, I opened it up and I sat there and read it, because I just wanted to enjoy it. This is one of the books I went for when I first started collecting, with the Justice League of America #1. And, however, when I get it back, it says, Mary Centerfold. So I guess the centerfold is taken from another book for some, I don't know. Of course I wasn't looking for it, but, yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with that then, whatever. I'm not going to upgrade this. This is fine. Especially with the movie coming out, this book is getting pricier, and for what I pay for this book, I'll never touch it again at a 3.0. So, these were all done at the New York Comic Con, the Boston Comic Con last year. So these are all the ones I'm very happy to have these books. I love these series. Cursed Pirate Girl #1. This is the first printing of the Olympia Publishing one, #1, and it's signed by, I had Jeremy Bastian sign it down here, which he has the nicest signature of any comic book artist, creator, whatever, any of them. This is the nicest one. But 9.8, and I'm very happy with that. And when I bought this book here, the guy I bought it off of said that, I guess he had a box of them or something or had a number of them. I don't know a box, but he had a number of them. But he said that they were all, they had slight damages and stuff like that. But this one, when I got it in the mail, I was really surprised. So, 9.8. And the next one, #2, first printing, 9.8, signed by Jeremy Bastian. Where did he sign this one at? Oh, right here. Okay. Yeah, like I said, very nice signature. Let me show you his signature for those of you who've never seen it. You can see it right here. Hopefully you guys can see it with the light. But yeah, very happy to have that one. the next one is the last one in the series, number 3. And of course, in the first printing, signed by Jeremy Bastian down the bottom. Of course, this one here, this might be a $40 book, raw. I don't know what it is, like this signed. Probably at least $75, probably, I would think. Maybe 80, I don't know, around there. This one here is worth more money than the first one, actually, I believe. Because this one's rarer. There's a lot of them, these were damaged in shipping or destroyed somehow. So from what I understand, these are rarer than the first one. I think they're actually both about the same price, so if I think this one's probably about a $150 book raw, $140, and this one's probably around that price too, raw. But these, I don't know how much I would grade these set at. I would never sell them though, so don't even think about offering me money for them. I just wanted to show one thing. This year, the Boston Comic Con, something I bought was my first Pirate Girl. The original first Pirate Girl, I guess. That was self-published, whatever he did with published through Comic Express. There was only like 300 of these were made, and he signed every one right there. That's why I didn't get it graded, because I would have had to get, the CBCS told me that I would have had to get an authentic, to pay $25 for the signature authentication, and I would have a red label. I said, why? He signed every book. So if he signed every book, why do they make me authenticate the signature? Obviously it's his signature because he signed every single book. Unless the book's a fake, which I doubt. But I paid a lot of money for this book. Okay, I'm going to whisper it. $5.25. Yeah, a lot of money. So, yeah. I am going to grade it, though, someday. I think maybe if I ever run into Jeremy Bastian again, I'll kind of go up there, hey, I'm getting a book signed by him, and then go up and, like, when they're not looking, kind of like, hey, don't sign it, just, act like he signed it, so I don't have to pay for the authentication, whatever. I don't do stuff like that. Okay. Well, if you watched my last video, this is a Revival. I'm a Revival fan. I bought this also already slab. This one's actually signed by Tim Seeley, Mike Norton, and this one has, which I'm very happy to have this signature, signed by Jenny Frison, which I love her artwork, especially her work on Red Sonja. I think she just, her Red Sonja covers are awesome. But yeah, and also she just did a Beauty cover #1, so which is really cool too, the Beauty. Yeah, so I bought this. I don't remember how much I paid for it. It was under $100, which I don't know if it's even worth that much nowadays, but it's worth that much to me. So, and then this one is my Batman #1, and I did the grade. I wasn't surprised at, really. I wasn't happy with it though, so which is why I bought a second copy. And I had it signed by Scott Snyder this year, and I'm waiting to see what I get that back at. That should be a more near mint one, and a 9s. I'm hoping a 9.6, 9.8. But this one here, actually, I had signed at the Boston Comic Con last year, and Snyder and Capullo actually signed this one. So that's nice to have both of these on here. Before the new one I just got done is only signed by Snyder, so unfortunately I wasn't able to have Capullo on that one, but I'll probably keep both of them, just to have both signatures, on a book. I don't know, maybe I'll sell it, who knows. Who am I kidding? I never sell anything. Oh, here we go. This is one of my major holy grails I got. And I'll tell you what I paid for it, because I bought it a couple years ago, so even if my girlfriend overhears, oh well, I bought it years ago, so paid $12.50 for this. My Avengers #1 and 3.0. I really contemplated breaking this out of the, cracking the case on this and having Stan Lee sign it at the Boston Comic Con this year. because I did get 3 signatures by him, but I just decided not to, because in order to grade this book, CGC does some crazy stuff. But no, actually, I would have got it done by CBCS anyway. So, but I just felt I didn't feel like doing, because I didn't want to get a lower grade, take a chance to doing that, which is possible. So, especially going from CGC to CBCS, whatever. I could get a higher grade, who knows? But I just didn't want to take a chance. It wasn't worth it to me. So yeah, I got that. Okay, then going in the same vein, I bought this one, Avengers #4, and now I bought this book raw. And I was very surprised when I got a 5.5 back. I think the book is nice looking, and I'm not very good at grading the lower grades and stuff. I just kind of eye the book, but yeah, this is I paid $250 for this book, and obviously this book is worth a lot more than $250 at a 5.5. So I don't know exactly what, but yeah. I think it's really nice. Here's the back. And of course, this is one of the iconic covers out there by Kirby. So just awesome. This is one. I have a T-shirt with this cover on it. So awesome cover. Very happy with that. Looks when I got this one raw, so this is the first appearance of Iron Fist, Marvel Premiere 15. It's a 5.5. You know what? If I ever found another one cheap enough, I might upgrade. So if I had a good price, I'd probably upgrade this one. But because it's not too expensive to get #1. Right now with the TV show coming in, I guess, or Netflix doing something, it's a little bit pricier now, but. I think I could still probably find a good deal on one, so maybe someday. There you go. Oh, this is one of my other grails I got. I actually paid this book off my little by little. It took me a month and a half, I think, to pay this off. And I actually went down and I picked this book up the day I proposed to my fiance. I finished paying it off. Kind of a little engagement present to myself. So, okay, I paid $900 for this. $900. So, but I think it's a pretty good deal. So, it's a Walking Dead #1, and I got it raw, which I was surprised to get a 9.6. I was happy. Because when I bought it, I got it raw, and the price I paid for it, I wasn't sure what it would. I knew it would be an Airman. I just wasn't sure if it would get that high of a grade. I was hoping, but very happy. And this is one of the other books I had signed by Robert Kirkman last year. I had 2 books signed, this and the Michonne book, first Michonne 19. So. Yeah, the only thing I don't like is he signed it in black, and it's so hard to see on the cover right there. I really wish they would, pay more attention to the books they're signing, and just, if you have a dark cover, don't sign in black. But just to have it, fine, whatever. He probably just one book at the other, like Stan Lee does. So, but actually Stan Lee, I was smart enough this year to actually bring my own markers. So, and he did sign in other colors. So, oh, okay, yeah, good. This is one of my other keys that I was very happy to get when I got this. This was my favorite book for a long time. It probably is one of my most cherished books I own right now. Just because it's such a high grade, and it's also one of my favorite characters. This is my Aquaman #1. 8.0, and I'm very happy to have it. Now it does have some wax pencil on the cover and some redder pencil, but 8.0 Aquaman #1 from 1962. That's just awesome for me. That's like a high grade for me, that old of a book. I don't have really any other books that are this high grade from that era. I don't think I do. So this is definitely one of the higher grades. Now, I paid $800 for this book, and I know it's worth more than that now. It's grade for a 1600 a few months ago. But yeah, Jimmy C. You know, I was thinking about giving this to Jimmy C for a wedding present, but I decided not to, just because I didn't want to. I'm just teasing Jimmy C. He has one of these books. I think his is a 6, and he's still trying to get me. He tried forever to get me to sell this book to him or trade it, whatever. I ain't gonna do it. This is one of the books that I will never, ever, ever sell. This book probably won't be sold until I'm dead. So, yeah. Oh, okay. This is. That's weird. Okay, they're backwards. Of course, this is my primer number 2. This is my Grendel number 1. I bought these all when I first started collecting. I bought, all the Grendel stuff right away, because these are the books from my childhood. And in case you didn't know, I grew up in Norristown, Pennsylvania, which is where Kimiko Comics was. So, I call it Kimiko Comics. I've heard people call it Comico, but I'm pretty sure it's Kimiko Comics. So that's what everyone else calls it, back in my hometown, Kimiko Comics. So, whatever. I'll have to ask Matt Wagner or Bill Willingham. I wish I would have asked Bill Willingham when I met him. He signed my Elementals number 1. We were talking about Norristown. How do you pronounce Kimiko? Comico. But yeah, my Grendel number 1, 8.0. I do have a second one of these. I did buy a second one because the price was right, and it's definitely higher grade. I'm hoping for at least a 9 on that one, so I didn't pay much for it, so I was able to get a second one. So I'm going to get that one graded someday, and probably get rid of this one. And this one, I was really surprised when it came back at a 7.0, but this is Grendel number 2, no big deal. It is a bit dirty, so I think this is part of the thing, but there is a lot of dirt there. So yeah, I would definitely pick up a second one of these too, they're not too expensive, so I can probably get one of these higher grade for $50, $60 maybe. So happy to get that. And of course the last one in the series, which came at the highest grade. And I'll tell you what's so funny about this, because when I bought these raw, this Grendel number 3. When I bought these raw, I bought all of them at the same time, basically around the same time. And I really thought that this would get the lowest grade. And the reason that is because when I was I went through and reread the series and everything, because I hadn't read it since I was a kid. I realized that there was 3 pages in here that were actually colored in with crayon. So, and it says right there, 3 pages partially colored in. And it came back at the highest grade. Now the book itself is really nice looking, but I thought because of that color, because everything's black and white in here, because of the coloring, it would take a pretty good hit, but not too bad. So yeah, I probably will upgrade that. Now this is a book that I was really surprised about. I bought this in just a bunch of books. When I first started collecting, I was just buying books. Just because it interested me, I bought it. And I paid, and I'm pretty sure I remember this correctly because of what I found out was worth later. I paid $5.50, right around. I'm pretty sure that's what I paid. So, I'll show you what it is. Hanna-Barbera Johnny Quest, The Mystery of the Lizard Men. This is actually the first appearance of Johnny Quest in comics. So, which I did not know when I bought it. And it's a 6.0, which is a fairly high. It's a higher grade. It's a fine. So, and this book it sells for hundreds. Well over $100. I've seen other copies, maybe a little bit higher grade than this, selling for like $250 to $300. Crazy. I just watched it. Who is it? Murphinator or whatever. It's one of the guys from he's from my area here in Boston area. But yeah, I guess he just did a tag video I just watched, and he wanted the tag video is something about your low cost to you know, the best finds, I guess you can say. Something you bought for really cheap, and something that, you know, that was worth a lot more money. This might be one of the probably the best one I got the best price for the what it's worth. I don't have a lot of those. I usually pay, you know, at least close to what they're worth. You know, sometimes I'll find a good deal, but this one's definitely one of the better ones. Yeah, so happy to have that. I'm a huge Johnny Quest fan. Of course, Kamiko Comics did the series with Johnny Quest, which I'm trying now. I'm starting to work on the series since I just completed my Elemental series, and of course I have all the Grendel series done, the first and second volume. So I'm trying to get all the Kamiko books. You know, my goal is to get every single Kamiko book ever put out. But yeah, so I'm going to start working on the Johnny Quest, and I guess there's also a Macross one too they did, which I haven't started on that. I think I might have a couple though. I'm not sure. I got a whole box, long box full of Kamiko Comics plus, long box plus. So, okay. These are from New York Comic Con last year. Now, okay, I'm going to go back to what I said something about my first video. I said I was going to drop it, but all these books I'm going to show, these next 4 books in this series, which I have all 4 of them. This is the Wolverine mini-series by Claremont, and Frank Miller did the art, and Joe Rubinstein. But this one's signed by Claremont and Rubinstein. Rubinstein there, Claremont there. And came back in 9.6 with CBCS. Now going back to something I said in the first video, just to show a bit of what the PGX thing, you know, how PGX, a lot of people hate PGX, which I said I never had a problem with them. And I usually get the books back at about the grade they graded at. Now this is one of the examples. This one was graded by PGX at a 9.4. Now I had CBCS do this, and it came back at a 9.6. This one here, number 2, 9.4 PGX, 9.4 CBCS, Rubinstein, Claremont. These are all PGX graded, all at 9.4s. Now here's one, Wolverine number 3, of course signed by Claremont and Rubinstein, 9.2. So it dropped from 9.4 to 9.2. Okay. Remember, 9.4s, they were all PGX. Second book actually went up in grade from 9.4 to 9.6. Now, I've been watching people on Facebook and stuff, these comic groups and stuff. Everyone hates PGX. Just like, and I guarantee you, majority of them never even used PGX. So I'm almost positive. But they say that PGX books are always overgraded. You know, you really they could drop a couple points, like people talking like a PGX 9.6 dropping to a 7 or something insane like that. You're insane. No, this is what I got. This is my experience with PGX. So now I'm gonna let it go. But yeah, I'm very happy to have all these books. Of course I wish this would have stayed at 9.4 at least, but it is a black cover. And you know what? To be honest with you, just in the fact that when I unslabbed this book and then taking it to the Comic-Con and getting it signed, something could have happened to this book to where something I did dropped it from a 9.4 to a 9.2. So yeah, okay, it's dropped now. Okay, next one. I got these at the Boston Comic-Con my first year went. Next Man number 21. This is the first color appearance of Hellboy, and signed by Mike Mignola right here, 9.2. Of course, I would love to have a higher grade, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that because this one I'm very happy with. This is San Diego Comic-Con Comics number 2. This is the first appearance of Hellboy. Now, I know people say that that Diamond, or the, what is it called, Dime Press thing, whatever it is, that's some Italian magazine thing where Hellboy is on the cover. All it is the cover, so I guess that's the true first appearance, but this is the first story, so I count this myself as the first appearance. Of course, I do want to get that other book, but for some reason that book sells for more than this book, which I don't understand that, because there was a whole bunch of them that were stored away, that people have boxes of this. I know one guy, I read an article on, he had boxes of this book, and he pulled them out and they're all minty fresh. So he started selling them on eBay, getting $200, $250 for them. So maybe someday I'll get it, but yeah, I'm very happy to have that. Mike Mignola signed it right there. He was a pretty cool guy. I would actually love to have O'Barr, Adams, Matt Wagner here too. Yeah, there's a bunch of people I could actually get. Mike Allred, pretty cool. I would love to have a bunch of their signatures on this book someday. So, it's possible. And this is my favorite series currently. I got signed at the Boston Comic Con the first year. I went 3 years ago, whatever it was. 2 years ago. It's the year they had the Boston bombing. Rachel Rising #1, signed by Terry Moore. Got a 9.0, which was fine, but there's a lot of these books that have this issue with the color scuffing and stuff right here, and even other places too in the book. I've seen a lot of them like that. However, I wasn't happy with it. So, of course, because this is one of my favorite series, I couldn't live with a 9.0. So I got a second copy. And I had this one signed at New York Comic Con last year. This is one of the books I had done by CBCS. CGC. I only had a handful of books done by CGC. Most of them were done by CBCS. But this one's signed by Terry Moore again. So, 9.6. Cool. I'm holding on to these. I just read recently that Terry Moore is currently in the process of writing a screen. What do you call it? Like a screenplay or whatever you call it. He's writing the pilot series for Rachel Rising. And he's also writing a script. He's also writing a script for Echo. So that's the next series I'm trying to get a hold of. I do have the first 3 books at Echo, but that's it. They're just so hard to find. I do want to get the whole set though. But yeah, I have the whole set of this one though. I don't have the third printing of this, which I do want to get the third printing, which is the red cover. So I was just talking to Evan Leahy about that a few weeks ago. But yeah, so 9.6. Just a few more books, guys. 5 more books. It looks like these are all from, I got great at New York Comic Con. This is the other book I got done by CGC last year. This is Caliber Presents #1. This is the first appearance of the Crow. On the front, I had Tim Vigil to the cover on the front, which I'll tell you what, when I met my hero from when I was a kid, I was really into Faust when I was a kid and stuff. I was always into that gory stuff and graphic stuff. But yeah, so I met Tim Vigil. I wasn't very impressed with the person. He was a nice guy, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, it just seemed like his artwork and then seeing him in person just didn't match up in my head for some reason. But yeah, so I had him sign the front. And then what was cool was on the back, I had James O'Barr sign the advertisement for The Crow #1 on the back. Also in this issue or whatever, that's the cover for, I believe, Crow #1. I don't know, whatever. No, it says also in this issue. But yeah, he signed that back. Tim Vigil on the front, which is very cool. And 8.5. Of course, I wish I had a higher grade on that. Maybe someday I will. Because this is a book that you can get cheap enough. You can get probably under $100. I got this, I only paid $60 for this, so at an 8.5. I did think it was going to be higher, but oh well. Yeah, so that's done. 4 more books. This wasn't signed by anyone, but I did submit it at the New York Comic Con last year just to get it graded. This is my Batman Adventures #12, the first appearance of Harley Quinn. And it came back at 9.2, which I'm very happy with. Of course, I would love to have a 9.6, 9.8, but I'm not going to bother. I'm happy with that. You guys know I'm a huge Harley fan, so I got tons of Harley stuff. So yeah, I'm very happy to have that. actually going to show these in a little bit of order, the last 3 books. I got this one done at New York Comic Con. Chris Claremont signed it. And it's X-Men 141, Days of Futures Past. And I know the hype on this book went down, of course, after the movie. And I actually liked the movie, I'm sorry. But a 9.0, I was actually really glad to have that grade, because I thought it was going to be lower. I thought it was going to be like an 8.5. So, like I said, I said previously, I'm definitely not great at grading, so, I think I have a pretty good idea by looking at a book about what around it should be, but 9.0, I was happy that I wasn't very good at grading. So, now this one, I'm very happy to have it. And even with the price I pay, I'll tell you, you guys have probably heard this story before. At least people have been watching my videos for a while. This is my Preacher #1. And I had it signed by Garth Ennis, which I'm very happy to have. I'm hoping he's there again at the New York Comic Con this year, but I didn't see his name on a list. So, but maybe he'll be at the Avatar thing again, so we'll see. But yeah, so I got this book raw, and when I bought it when it at auction. I paid $125 at auction. It was supposed to be a near mint. So the guy automatically, as soon as I bought it, I paid it. I pay my stuff right away like that. As soon as I buy it, I pay it. And he sent me an email saying, he refunded my money. And he said, I lost the book. The book's gone. It was stolen. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? He just didn't want to take the money, because at the time these were selling for like $200 in near mint. So, and finally he emailed me back later and said, you still want the book? I found it. So, but this is what I got when I got it in the mail. Down the bottom, dude must have had rats, because there's on the cover a little teeny piece like gnawed off. So, but I got an 8.5 and it's signed by Garth Ennis. Now I do have a second copy, and that one is definitely in near mint condition. And I also have the Preacher preview, which is the first appearances, and of course Absolute Vertigo, but that's the one that's not really worth that much. But yeah, so I do have a second copy. That's why I'm hoping I meet him again, and he can sign this, because there is a TV show that's being done. I can't wait for it. And the last book in the box, guys. This is a long ass video here, so last book in the box. My New Mutants '98, and it's signed by Rob Liefeld, which I paid $30 for that signature. Which, I guess, thinking about it, I was really pissed about the prices. I had a conversation with someone, and basically they said, this guy doesn't do a lot of work nowadays. So now that Deadpool is huge, he needs to try to make his money now. So, because who knows, after this hype is all down with Deadpool, who knows the next time he's really going to have a chance to make any kind of money. So I think looking at it that way, I can understand it. So, because he was only charging $30 for Deadpool, New Mutants '98, for anything Deadpool. If it was New Mutants related, like the Cable, he was charging $10. And then anything else was free, which I did have him sign a Walking Dead cover. So, and he did that one for free. So, Rob Liefeld, you're forgiven. So, that's it, guys. That's the box. So, like I said, I got like 4 or 5 boxes altogether. I'll be making a video for each box. But this one was under 40 minutes. Okay, goodbye.